What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to What's Happening Now, our look at the underground happenings. We got some shit to talk about. Some shit that has been announced, some shit that has been teased, and kind of some speculative stuff, if you will. I am recording this on January 6th. By the time you guys are going to be watching this, several days have passed since some of these topics have been talked about. I want to save the big one for last. The title is going to say it all. So if you feel like skipping ahead, feel absolutely free. But there is some other stuff that has been announced that I do want to talk about. So one of the first things that I want to jump into really quickly and show some motherfucking love is the homie Stray teasing. And I can't remember the exact day he did this because the screenshots that I have were when he posted them like 3 hours, 50 minutes. So I don't have the like dates down, but Stray teasing another album coming out, another venture through Rogue Hollow. Please stand close. And it said the album, the artwork, the picture that he posted said new album Flinch coming 2025. Which, honestly, looking at this now, I just caught the 2025 part a little bit more. When it first was posted, I seen, like, coming soon more than anything. But the homie Stray fucking coming out with a brand new album. If you guys have not heard of Stray, he is somebody that I highly recommend checking out. He's got 2 albums out. One's an EP, the Witherman EP, and then he dropped Cloudy Alibi back in 2023, and that caught a lot of people's attention. So it's definitely an album not to sleep on. If you've never heard of Stray, go check out Cloudy Alibi. That's definitely the album I would recommend to you. The Witherman EP is also well worth a listen, but if you're only going to ever go listen to one thing from Stray, Cloudy Alibi is what you should check out. He's absolutely dope. So Stray announced Flinch. We don't have like a direct time frame yet, but one of the things that he had posted where he reshared, it was like a day after the original post, he had made another post that says, "I'm facing all fears and sacrificing the ego to my unfiltered creativity with this album. It's really dark, but also extremely beautiful. A lot of new soundscapes being explored and lyrics written with the highest level of precision that I'm capable of. Gotta face that dark before the light. Please stand close." And I notice he's said that he's really highlighted twice now, please stand close. So I'm very curious what some of the elements of this album are going to be, especially with him highlighting about it being really dark, but also really beautiful, and him saying stand close. I wonder if it's going to deal with themes of abandonment, with themes of loneliness, things like that. But the album title, Flinch, very interesting. He also made another post today, and I did not grab that and put that for me to have here to comment on, but I had commented on it. I believe one of the things that he had said in one of his other posts was about like who we wanted to see on it. But I can't remember what the post was he posted today, but I commented and put that Stray's about to make us flinch. This new album is this is what I put. This new album is gonna make everyone flinch with fire. I'm paraphrasing like a motherfucker. I am on day 1 of being sick. I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice. So, but really excited for Flinch. I hope that we get it perhaps within the first 6 months of the year, but I'm also okay with waiting until later in the year. I think I said ear there. But absolutely Stray kills it. Really excited to see that he's got a new album already in the works. I say already, but Cloudy Alibi dropped back in 2023. So, but yeah, really excited. I know he's already put out at least 1 single, which I'm assuming is going to be on Flinch, Kill Me in Connecticut. It's honestly been a hot minute since I've listened to that. I've stated time and time again that when it comes to singles, they sometimes fall to the wayside. So I'm hoping that Kill Me in Connecticut makes it onto Flinch. But regardless, Stray absolutely kills it. If you've never heard of him, absolutely check him out. And then moving right along, moving it over to M&E/Twisted. Astronomicon 8 tickets are now available. They've got some weekend packages available. They've got just the day passes available. They've got VIP packs available. And they've even got kids tickets as well available as well. I think I already said that. And as well as they did announce a couple of other guests. I didn't put any of those down. Like I had previously stated in a previous episode of What's Happening Now, Astro is an event that I'm still very much up in the air about. But one of the things about this that really kind of draws my attention to it is the weekend pass with concert ticket is only $100. That's to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and also go to the concert. They also have a weekend pass, which is the best value for $70, which means that the concert tickets, and I don't think that there's a way to get just the concert ticket from what I've got here in front of me. That to me tells me that the concert is $30 if they were to do a concert only ticket. So, you know, each day you're paying for $30. Saturday is $40, and then the concert would be $30 as well. So honestly, I feel like, and they say the weekend pass is the best value. I think the weekend pass with concert ticket is the best value. That's the one that they should really be promoting. But it's definitely interesting that the one that they place as the best value isn't even the most expensive. Just a little foreshadowing, and I'm not trying to throw shade. But the other thing, and what I was actually initially going to make the main topic of this video, that was until, you know, Violent J teased what he did, was the DCG Con official. All the details are out now about the DCG Con and Juggalo weekend events. They announced where the DCG Con is going to be going down at. It is, hang on just a second, the Sturbridge Host Hotel there in Massachusetts. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about with this is the ticket prices. Now, I know I previously talked about this in another episode of What's Happening Now, and I didn't really go into it. And I didn't fully realize just how outrageous the prices were going to be for the DCG Con. The available ticket bundles, you can get ICP, you can get the ICP concert and JCW for $125 on Friday, or you can get the ICP concert and JCW on Saturday for $125, or you can get the ICP concert, JCW, and DCG Con for $175 for both days. Or you can get like a weekend pass, both days, all events, $300 to go to both nights of Juggalo weekend to get the JCW, which is kind of built into the concert. So you might as well just say the concert and the convention. So to go to both nights of the concert, as well as go to both days of the convention, it'll set you back $300. This makes the DCG Con / Juggalo weekend, as of right now, as of the previous gathering they held, if I remember correctly, the tickets for the gathering were $295, right? They hadn't quite broke over the $300 threshold. That makes this event more expensive than the gathering, and it's less days. So the original topic of what I was going to talk about in this, and I'm still going to talk about it here, it's just not the main topic, is will the DCG Con fail this year? Will this year's DCG Con fail? And it's a fear of mine because I've got a lot of hopes in that doing well. I have a lot of hopes in that reigniting that event. And I've talked about this previously, how I feel like that they've really piggybacked it onto another event to try to see what interest looks like. And unfortunately, it's in my opinion that the way that they did these tickets, they are, to me, I feel like they are setting the DCG Con up for failure. And I could be absolutely wrong, and I really hope that I'm wrong. I hope that most of everybody who is going out to Juggalo weekend is like, we're here, we might as well just hit up the DCG Con as well. And maybe they only go to one day, and then other people go to the other day. And then there's really the big ballers out there that are going to both, right? This event, I don't feel like there's people going specifically for the DCG Con. I know if I was going, that's going to be my main draw. The concert is just a bonus. That was, for me, that was the main draw of going to the first DCG Con, was going to the convention, and they happen to have concerts each night, which I honestly don't even remember how much those were back then. I feel like, because you had to kind of do a similar thing, you had to get either a day pass or a weekend pass. but I cannot remember if the concert tickets were part of a bundle, if they were separate, because it's been a few years. That was 2017, so I don't remember how that one played out, and I don't remember how the second one played out, but I just can't help but feel like with the way that these are priced, we're going to have more people that say, I don't give a fuck about the convention. I want to go to the concert. And that's where my concern is that it will cause the convention to have a very low attendance rate, and that may make them completely abandon trying to bring the convention back. That's my fear. I felt like they were trying to piggyback this in a way to help reignite it. And unfortunately, the way that these tickets are set up, I just don't think that it's going to... I worry. I don't want to say I think that. I don't want to phrase it like that. My worry is that it won't succeed, and my worry is they won't even bother with it anymore, and it'll just fade away into an event that's never happening again. I really enjoyed the DCG Con, and I know there are plenty of juggalos out there who have, and I know there are also plenty of other juggalos out there who don't give a shit about it. They don't care about the convention. They don't care about the gaming part of it. I'm a nerd, you know. As a juggalo, there's two things that juggalos always seem to like: wrestling or horror movies. I've never been a big fan of either one. So the DCG Con was always my draw because I was a nerd. Grew up playing Pokemon. Grew up fucking watching Dragon Ball Z. You can see the fucking replica Dragon Balls that I have there behind me. I'm a nerd. So the DCG Con was something that appealed to me big time. So it's an event that I want to see make a comeback. And I don't know how they're going to pull it off. I would like to see it succeed and it become a regular event again. Granted, it never really took off the way it could have and should have with what happened at the second one, and then they just never doing it again. And I don't know if the incident is what really kind of hammered the nail in that coffin, but it's easy to kind of look at it and go, damn, that's what killed the convention. And I could be wrong. Maybe it was other things that happened. But, you know, I just, for me, I have a lot invested for this to succeed so that it becomes a regular event again. And I'm putting a lot of high hopes in it doing very well. And I worry and I fear that it's not going to go that way. So, you know, if you're heading out to Juggalo Weekend and you have the extra funds, check out the DCG Con. Just check it out and see what the vibe is. And, you know, again, with this kind of being like the returning event, they may not have all their ducks in a row. I would think that they would. Their very first one, I felt like they had a lot of their shit together. And then the second one, they had even more shit together. Like, they had so much more extra to do at the second one, which I never even went to. I definitely would like to see the DCG Con succeed and make a comeback. So really hammering that point in there and out there. So now let's move on to the topic, the main topic, the title of the video: brand new ICP LP at the 25th annual Gathering of the Juggalos. It's the note that really kind of has sparked a lot of discussion here in the Juggalo world. I never saw the note. I am following Violent J, so I don't know fully how he set that note up. If you don't really know what notes are or how you see them, when you go to your messages on Instagram, there's like a spot at the top and you can click and add a note. And it's kind of like a story, but separate. Like, you can just put your quick little thoughts in this little note bubble, and people who go to the messages that follow you, if you set it for that, will see it. You can also set it up for like close friends. So I don't know how Violent J set it up when he posted it. I never saw it. Figgle Lovers reported on it, and a lot of other people have reported on it. And it has been shared all over the place. And Humble Among made a video, said that he texted Violent J, and Violent J confirmed that it's obviously about the 6th. And here's my thoughts about all of that, right? Him getting that text and saying that it's obviously about the 6th doesn't mean anything to me. And I say that because when they first announced Fearless Fred Fury in 2018 at the Gathering of the Juggalos, at that seminar, it was originally supposed to come out in October of that year. October 26th of 2018 was the original release date for Fearless Fred Fury. Now, fast forward to the previous Joker card. Everyone remembers the big fiasco or debauch, whatever you want to call it, with Yum Yum Bedlam, with the Yum Yum flower. It was originally supposed to come out on Christmas of 2020. They talked about it in the seminar for the House Party Peep Show during October of 2020. Like firmly, the way that I assumed, and I think a lot of other people assumed, when they made that announcement, it was like a done project. Fast forward to December of that year, it didn't come out. And instead, they delayed the album and gave everyone like an exclusive, who was subscribed in December of that year to their Patreon, gave them an exclusive EP, the Yum Yum's Lore, which was never originally supposed to be part of the overall Yum Yum Flower Joker card. So they pushed it back and said that Yum Yum Bedlam wasn't going to come out until March of 2021. Yum Yum's Lore didn't even come out until March of 2021, and Yum Yum Bedlam got delayed clear down until Halloween of 2021. My point is, just because Violent J says that it's coming at this specific time means nothing to me based on recent album releases. They've missed deadlines, and I get it. For whatever reason, they felt they need to go in and retune the album and do some other things. Cool. Give us the best album that you feel you're giving. And I firmly believe that that's what happened with Fearless Fred Fury, because originally in the summer of 2018, if you guys don't remember this, ICP went live on, I think it was Twitter. They were posting tweets live in the studio of them working on Fearless Fred Fury. And they were talking in there about different tracks that they were working on. And some of those tracks weren't even on Fearless Fred Fury. They ended up on Flip the Rat. And I believe there might have been one or two that wasn't on either one of them. They eventually came out on the Fearless Fred Fury Furious Edition on that disc 3. I could be incorrect on that. It's been a few years. I'm getting old. But, you know, I feel like they pushed Fearless Fred Fury back so that they could fine-tune some of the songs. Same way with Yum Yum Bedlam. They pushed that album back so that they could fine-tune that album and ended up giving us Yum Yum's Lore, which I wholeheartedly believe some of those tracks were originally going to be on Yum Yum Bedlam. And then when people heard it, they like, whoa, we pushed it back even further so they could work on some other tracks. This is all speculation on my part. There's nothing confirmed or concrete about this. And even staying on the Yum Yum Flower, in the book of Yum Yum Bedlam, we were supposed to get Woe the Weeping Weirdo at Hallowicked, or no, was it Hallowicked? Yes, at Hallowicked of 2022. That got delayed until the Gathering of 2023. So again, my point here is, just because it is announced that this is happening now means nothing until it actually happens. So my takeaway from the brand new ICP LP at the 25th Annual Gathering of the Juggalos, do I think they have a new album coming out? Maybe. They possibly could. Do I think it's the 6th? Maybe. I don't know. Based on some recent shit that Jay had said himself to Manny, if that's the case, it's probably too soon for them to be doing that. We don't have a confirmed name. They released the teaser that teased The Knot. Most of us are pretty safely saying that it's called The Knot, but we have not from their lips heard them say this is what it's called. We have not even seen a glimpse of the album, a silhouette, nothing. We've seen no image. Granted, maybe that's what they're planning for Juggalo Weekend. They could do that. They could name it. They could give us the name. They could give us the image, and then turn around and say it's coming at this year's gathering. And then it could come, and then we could have it. Or they could do all of that. The gathering would come and it not be ready. There's so many what ifs at play here that all we can really do is speculate, and all we can really do is wait for it to actually come. So I'm personally kind of the thought process, and I tweeted about this, that if ICP releases the 6th Joker's card of the second hand in 2026, it will have dropped, specifically if they get it closer to the gathering of that year, and the gathering is in like August, The 6th Joker's card of the second hand will have dropped 17 years after the start of the second hand, because Bang Pow Boom dropped September 1st, 2009. So if they stick to the lore, 2026 actually seems like a pretty sweet year for them to do that. And they could wrap the second hand up in a 17-year period, which is kind of crazy in the contrast of the first hand only taking 10 years. But like, I feel like they could take this whole year, just work on this album, come up with concepts, come up with ideas, and then, you know, go back into different things and add some elements. And honestly, at this point, it's kind of like if they wanted to, they could potentially give us like a 2-album album. You know, they could kind of give us, they could give us Shangri-La and Hell's Pit, but in one. Don't, you know, separate the release dates. Give us a full double album, or give us something similar to Mighty Death Pop. Give us something similar to Fearless Fred Fury. You know what I mean? This hand of Joker cards has been a lot of like double albums with Death Pop, with The Marvelous Missing Link, with Fearless Fred Fury. Fuck, with the Yum Yum Flower, we ended up with, you know, if you slap all of the seeds together, we ended up with 2 albums of music from that as well. So it kind of makes sense for them to do like 2 albums in one for the 6th. And if they spent all of 2025 recording that music and coming up with those ideas and those concepts, and then waited until 2026 to give it to us and wrap it all up with that pretty bow and say, you know, 17 years for the second hand, that to me would be beautiful. So that's kind of where my head is at. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it. Again, we won't know nothing until the time comes. We won't know if they do announce the name and give us an image at Juggalo Weekend. We won't know what comes out at the Gathering until the Gathering gets here. And honestly, like, hey, brand new ICP LP, give us like a Bizarre type album. Give us a Forgotten Fresh. Give us something to like hold us over. Give us a precursor. Give us a Yum Yum's lore of the 6th. I'd be cool with that. So that's where my head's at. Anyways, you guys can tell me down below what you guys think. Where's your guys' head at? Do you guys want this album sooner than later? Or are you kind of with me, like wanting them to really work on this, fine tune it, and give us like a beautiful send off for the second hand? Anyway, tell me down below what you guys think about what's happening now. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Violet J says new ICP album at the Gathering, the 6th. No, he didn't, and that's a farce. That is not true whatsoever. If he said it, I don't know why he'd say that, because it's not happening. It'd be impossible.
Yes.
Man, that'd be impossible to even make that date.